Hello, 521 week number 3. It's good to see you again, except I'm not seeing you. You're seeing me. You're looking at me and listening. My name is Bill. Welcome to week 3. This week we are looking at UDL, Universal Designs for Learning. If this is new to you, it's good stuff. If you have been teaching in a more student-centered classroom, less textbook, more student choice, more project-based learning, more problem-based learning, a lot of this is going to be pretty familiar. If you're either not in a classroom or you're newer to the classroom or you're at a school where it's more following along with the textbook, and I don't mean teaching to the test in just a bad way, but like the primary goal of learning at your school site is to prepare students kind of for the next thing, in which case there's a lot of teacher-guided, teacher-directed, here's the next step, in a very scaffolded way that brings students towards
Good
success
morning.
for...
Happy JK.
Oh, that just downloaded, video downloaded. Where did that come from? Did you hear that? Good morning, happy JK. Where's that playing from? Hang on a
Family
sec.
celebration. It's so nice to be here with you all.
Oh, that's so funny.
All of-
It just started playing. We just started our JKK family celebration. JK is junior kindergarten at our school. Just downloaded that video. We had a 40-minute kindergarten performance this morning that was so great, so fantastic. There's nothing like hearing kindergartners sing. If you heard that, that's what that was. I was like, that sounds like Jamie talking. And started downloading it quite some time ago. Anyway, those are kind of the two posts of, like, setting kids up for success for the upcoming tests and the next grade level, and making classrooms kind of more student-centered. So if you're more on this side, UDL is going to be pretty familiar. The big buckets of it, you have kind of three things, and it's often shown as a Venn diagram, but I don't have three hands. I use my face. I don't know. So there's representation, and so the idea is to make sure content is accessible in more than one format. So what I used to do a lot in second grade when I was teaching before I knew about UDL is it would be like, all right, here's the lesson. I'm going to talk mostly. I'm going to write some stuff on the whiteboard. You're going to copy it down as a second grader. That would be an example of kind of one representation. Two, if you're being generous, writing on the board and talking aloud. But it's really just kind of the one way to get information, teacher talking. So more than one way, representation. Second part is action and expression, and that's giving students multiple ways to interact with the material and to demonstrate their learning. What's really cool about this one is that these little devices we have, phones, Chromebooks, iPads, whatever you've got, give students so many ways to demonstrate their learning. So if you're looking at this and you're just like, whoa, this is all super new, maybe jump into the how do students demonstrate their understanding. If you're familiar with Gardner's multiple intelligences, there's often kind of the entry point for that is kind of each intelligence can be a way to demonstrate learning. I still remember my 11th grade English teacher, Mrs. Hooven, clearly had gone to a professional learning day, some conference around multiple intelligences, because she came back, she's like, all right, glass menagerie, here's what we're doing. You're going to have 8 different ways to turn in this project to show your learning about the glass menagerie, which is multiple intelligences, but which is also a way for students to express their learning. And that action and expression, that's our second Venn diagram of UDL. See how those are starting to fit together? They're for sure separate things, but I'm starting to kind of mesh them together. Let's hope that face will be the thumbnail. I was like, it's not good. If my wife was here, she'd be like, just stop. Please stop. Mrs. Hooven said, you can write a report, which is what I've always done. You can give a speech. You can make a video. You can write a song. You can make a poem. And as soon as she said you can write a song, I was just like, that is what I am doing. Josh, a student next to me, I still remember him. Tells you like how sticky this learning can be once you give students choice, right? I was like, we are gonna write a song, and he's like, I'll sing. He was not good at singing. He wrote some song lyrics. I wrote the music. Glass Menagerie. If you know it, this will be funny. If not, you'll be like, I vaguely remember this. The song was called Bump on a Log. What was verse 1? Laura is lame. Amanda is a pain. And that boy named Tom thinks that life is but a game. That was verse 1. I still know all the characters. Oh my gosh. I didn't think I can't believe that came out of my brain. There were like some synapses that are like, we haven't been used in quite some time. And then the chorus, she got no friends, she got no job, she sits around like a bump on a log. Laura or Amanda, one of them just would kind of sit around and do nothing. And I remember that for sure because we wrote a song about it, a very, very not good song in the key of G major. Like our drummer couldn't play on the right beats. Anyway, the point of this second bubble of Venn diagram, we have that representation as 1, action expression 2. Giving those students choices makes a big, big difference and is a great way to live out that principle. And then that third part is engagement. And the way you normally see it is that you're encouraging your students to look for ways to be motivated. And so you're coming up with like kind of multiple ways to motivate some students. So that those are the 3 kind of Venn diagram circle bubbles of UDL, Universal Design for Learning. You have your e-lesson, is that what they're called? Yeah, your self-paced e-lesson. And some middle schoolers just started walking by. I'm up here in the science garden. They're looking at some chickens that we have. I'm going to just make sure they don't feed the chickens with pizza. I'm pretty sure pizza is not something chickens should eat. Yeah, so that's what you're going on. Let's talk more about week 3. You have a discussion board post. There's a link to some slides around calculators. Using calculators, yes. Using calculators, no. Looking at it particularly through a lens of students with special needs or students with disabilities. How is it good? How is it useful? How might it be problematic? It also, my goodness, there's a lot of ways that calculators could or could not be used for all students. So it's something worth exploring. So that's what your discussion board post is. Please remember, initial post due Thursday, 2 replies due Sunday. The rest of this week, there's actually not an assignment due this week, but you have 3, count them 3, coming up. You have your Try Something New, where you have 4 weeks and 4 assistive technology tools, AT tools. You've done writing, you just finished reading. This week, the 3rd week, you're going to focus on a math AT tool, and then week 4, this is finally due your communication AT tool. So continue on with that. This week's is math. What else do you have? You have your 3-day lesson plan, or 3-part lesson plan, if you would like. There is a template for you in the Google Doc that's a description. And the goal, the way I like to explain this, and I'll explain it again as we kind of go on, is it's not bullet points for yourself to teach a lesson. The way I like to explain kind of the level of detail is you're handing it to someone, this is their first year subbing, but you're being evaluated as a teacher based on their execution of your lesson. And so, when I was teaching like 5th grade, lesson plans were like 2 pages. When I was teaching kindergarten, lesson plans were 7 pages, just because every routine made such a difference. And if students in that class had a specific routine, then things were just like locked in, and we were all having a great time. And then within that, there was a decent amount of student choice and agency and fun and play and downtime. Without kind of those structures and those habits and those routines, just like, dude, forget about it. So if you had those 2 choices, not the 1-page fifth grade lesson plan that I used to write, the 8-page kind of kindergarten one. And I'm not saying 8 pages, but like kind of that level of detail of lesson plan. So read through it. The Google Doc is 3 full pages. There's also a reflection that goes along with that. Now keep in mind this is not due till week 7, but strongly encourage you to put a little bit of time in this week. Things really start to pick up in week 4. So this is your last chance to, if you're setting aside, some evening couple, like you're like, all right, every Tuesday, Thursday, I'm doing 521, or like half of Saturday, I'm doing 521, or all of Sunday, or whatever your schedule is. Stick with it and work on this, because by the time you get to week 7, you will, if you have prepped it and done some work this week, you'll be in good shape for that. Otherwise, week 3 will feel too light and week 7 will feel too heavy. And then your friendly reminder, your e-portfolio, your electronic portfolio. Continue on with that. Week 3 is looking at UDL, Universal Design for Learning, as well as math technology tools, math learner goals. So that's what you got for week number 3. That's about it. If you have questions, reach out. Been enjoying seeing your discussion board posts. Keep them up. You're probably winding down your school year, so hang in there. You've got this, and happy week 3, everybody.